Hi, everybody. How's it
Hello.
going out there? If we can get a thumbs up that sounds working from the chat, that'd be super good.
That'd be
Um,
great.
we all good?
Looks
So
Do we have
welcome.
mics?
We have a mic.
Oh, we do have. That's right. We have a mic, a Rich, a Gavin,
We
and
do.
Taylor.
Cool.
We
So
do, yeah.
welcome to Saturday night where we're gonna play Tales from the Loop some more. We've gotten a Taylor with us now. So we're happy for her to be here with us.
Heck yeah.
Um, couple of housekeeping things. All this month, we are raising money for the charity Elevated Access. They are a 501c that made of pilots who, as a charity, will help women, whoever needs it, to get to different states for gender affirming care and other women's health access needs. So we are raising money for them. There's information on the screen and in the chat. If you want to donate to them, that would be lovely.
I
Um,
was talking to a friend of mine who training as a pilot, and he said
mhm,
if they're a private pilot, the only thing they can charge for is gas. They can't charge for maintenance. They can't charge for their hours as a private pilot. So I'm not too sure how far elevated access goes to commercial versus private, but I have a
mm,
feeling it's people that just want to really help.
yeah, yeah, I think so. I think that's very true. So yeah, we're raising money for the charity all month, so check that out. We played Thirsty Sword Lesbians last night. Taylor and I were there for that, and it was a lot of fun. Carmen Sandiego and Poison Ivy are going on a date to the botanical gardens, so
Heck yeah.
go check that out. Um, let's see. Tuesday we have Rich Randomness is back, and I hear
Woo!
we have a special guest.
We do.
Um, BPR John, as we like to call him,
Isn't
which
it BPR? Yeah. BPR, John. Yeah. Let's watch chat now for the explosion.
I was just waiting for the explosion to happen. But yeah, John will be on with Rich on Tuesday. There's no red markets this month, and then we'll be back again next Saturday to round out Tales from the Loop. Um, then we will have one more Rich randomness before Gen.
Ooh,
Da da da.
Which me, Rich, Taylor, David, some other folks from the HSC crew will be there at Gen Con to hang out and do things, and we're all running a game together. It's gonna be crazy.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So any other announcements before we go to 1980s Boise, Idaho? Cool. So, to give a kind of a refresher of what happened last game, we met. I went with my brain just blanked. We met Otto, who is Mike's character, Larry, who is Rich's, um, Ryan, who is Gavin's, and we met John, who is David's character. Tonight we'll meet Tanya, who is Taylor's character. Um, After going about your normal morning's routines, you went to school and then went to the arcade bench because this weekend there is a tournament to win the Loop Action Set, which is an at-home, the first of its kind at-home private gaming set that the Loop is giving away. And as you were there, you noticed some suspicious activity from
hmm
a gentleman in a wonderfully colored neon outfit. I've shared that in Roll20 if you can see it. Um, the most beautiful of neon, head to toe. Um, and as Otto was checking him out, Ryan was playing the game and saw that it was acting weirdly. And then there was some additional information up on the screen that maybe like keeping your vital information. We don't know. Um, Otto and John stole something from this guy's coat. and really just an action-packed movie moment. Um, and then you guys gathered all your information and you went to your hideout at the Putt Putt, where you discovered that this little item um, was made by the loop, as far as you could tell. And then it was getting close to evening time, or to the time the lights come on. And so you guys needed to rush home, and you hit the remote at the cemetery, and you were able to get home before the lights came on, and that's where we ended last week's game. Um, Taylor, can you introduce us to Tanya?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, Tanya is a how old am I again? 14?
14, I think.
14. I'm a little older than our crew here. Um, but she is a jock as far as the game goes. Really, I'm saying she probably moved from somewhere even more north and was really into hockey and now has been having to do the transition into roller hockey because not as much ice. Um, and then has also in turn learned that roller derby is the coolest thing ever, and she dreams to be a roller derby girl when she grows up, and thankfully her Uncle Teddy does help with that. That's where she was. Her mother thinks she was at just like a hockey game, but actually Uncle Teddy snuck her out to go watch some roller derby yesterday, and it was really fun. But she's a little blonde pigtails constantly up, headband out of her face, wearing whatever swag she probably has on, like a cool little roller derby shirt under, but she can't like show it because her mom will get mad. But then she's like, "Look where I went this weekend." And then it's just like, super comfy, ready to freaking tussle.
Awesome. Let's see. Let's meet Otto. Can you tell us some about Otto, Mike?
Otto is he's 12 years old. I think he's 12. He is by game definition, he is a weirdo. He believes fully that conspiracy theories are real, and that if you not something that just can't prove, but just, or if you can prove it, then he'll believe it. Like he's not going to go flat Earth. Don't start rich, but he does he does he
It's
does
flat.
lizard people and those other sorts of things. He's also absolutely convinced that his house is a little too close to that cemetery, and there's a body under his foundation, and so he's haunted, or his house is. And the other thing is that he lives with his father and his Oma. He is of German descent, and Oma takes care of him. And he had 3 older brothers that have moved out of the house now. He is the baby. So yeah.
How does your character feel about Tanya?
I think he's okay. He's pretty good with Tanya because he's had to avail himself of her services a time or two. Um, there's only so many times that you can have sauerkraut as in your lunch bag and not get beat up. So um, yeah.
Awesome. Rich, tell us about Larry.
Sorry, Larry's just here enjoying some great 80s candy, the bottle
Oh my
caps.
god.
Bottle
Half a
caps.
bunch of the sour. This is sugar compressed into this form of a bottle cap, and the root beer ones are the best.
The root beer ones
Oh,
taste
they're the
like
best root beer ones.
Pepto-Bismol to me, which makes me like Pepto-Bismol. Like the chewable Pepto-Bismol tablets when I was younger reminded me of the root beer bottle caps.
So good.
Bismol is the
no,
bomb.
no.
Yes, Larry's girlfriend Sarah, without an H, buys him bottle caps, so he enjoys those often. So
Nice.
100%. Just by game definition, I'm country. So, yeehaw. If we look at the neighborhood, I'm actually kind of down at the south end of the neighborhood. There's better homes, all kind of laid out cookie cutter. But we got a half acre down there, and we're raising guinea pigs, we're raising rabbits. We sell them. Don't know where they go, but that's kind of what I do. I take
They
care
go
of the
to
farm
Omaha.
area. Yep. My dad is a master of the custodial arts at the Loop, and my mom she works in administration down at the Loop, and I take care of animals. I got a great dog named Scout, and I got a secret patch of weeds growing in the back corner of the lot.
Diabolical lettuce, maybe.
The
Mhm.
devil's lettuce.
Do you have a question for you? Does your mother work at the Piggly Wiggly,
Oh, the Piggly
as you
Wiggly. I meant
mentioned
Piggly
last
Wiggly.
week? Or okay. I was like,
Piggly
wait,
Wiggly.
does she live
My
a double
mom
life?
My
She lives
mom
a
is a
double
cashier at the Piggly Wiggly. Sorry, I'm confusing games. I apologize.
It's all good. And how does Larry feel about Tanya?
Oh, you know, I constantly act like I can beat you in a race. I constantly act like I can whoop your ass.
Mhm.
I constantly act like I can try and climb trees faster than you. And I can do more work every day than you. But in reality, we both know. We
Mhm.
both know. You got me. I can't run as fast as you. I can't climb a tree as fast as you. But I just can't let that hope up. So I
Yeah, and I
respect
put up a
your
fight.
athleticism.
Yeah, I put up a fight, even though I know, it's all in
Yeah.
fun and games. But I'm like, thank you. I don't want to make him cry.
No crying in Tales from the Loop. That's not true. People cry all the time. Tales from the Loop. Gavin, introduce us to Ryan.
Ryan, by definition, is a computer. He is kind of always out of the house. He's kind of always trying to tinker things, or always kind of has his notebook out, writing notes in it. Um, He's kind of like tall and lanky, even for his age, and has like kind of really messy, shaggy hair. But his glasses are just kind of so tight on his head that they kind of like keep the hair out, They're almost like goggles. Um, and Yeah, I would say, and like he's not super talkative. He's a little shy, but he also gets stuff done. You ask him to do something, he'll do it.
Listen. And how does he feel about Tanya?
I think he looks up to Tanya because she is like so bold and like able to kind of express herself in that way that he's just not very good at. So yeah, he definitely kind of looks up to Tanya. Though it's probably like a quiet respect more than anything.
Mhm. Gotcha. Cool. Tanya, does anything stick out to you about the guys that you want to let us know after all that info?
Um, I agree with what everyone was kind of already saying. I feel like it's definitely one of those like it's my crew. Everyone's got their talents, their skills. We work so well together. I'm gonna fucking protect it, you know.
Mm,
And so
awesome.
I think we're all on the same page.
Cool. Great. It is the morning. It is Saturday morning, the day before the tournament. And yesterday, last night, you guys found out some weird shit was going on while uh, Tanya was out in Twin Falls at a roller derby game that her mom doesn't know about, thinking that she was at a hockey game. Um, so Tanya, you got dropped off pretty late last night, maybe around 11, or 11 o'clock midnight, because you guys had to drive back in from Twin Falls, which is about a couple hours away, or an hour away. Um, so it's kind of are you still an early riser even if you've been up late?
Yeah, probably so.
Okay. So you're up probably around 8 o'clock. Your mom is still asleep, which is probably good because she'd probably ask a lot of questions about like where you were or how the game went and all that
Mhm.
stuff. That after that your uncle said that he was gonna go and check on Gary because he knew Gary was working late. Gary is your cousin and he works at the arcade bench. You actually were able to tell Gary yesterday, before you left to go to the hockey game, that your friends wanted some time to practice. So you actually were able to sneak them in to get some practice time because of your connection with Gary.
Nice.
So you are at your house, hanging out, not really knowing what's going on with the crew. Um, but you get a knock at the door. Um, and looking out, you see your neighbor, Brad, which I have shown in Roll20. Brad is John's older brother. He's about 1 year older than you. You guys have grown up together for the most part. He is at your doorstep wearing almost acid wash jeans, a button down flannel shirt. His hair is very poofy and long in the front. Too many bracelets and watches around his arms, and then his white high tops. Um, and he doesn't knock loudly because he knows it's early, but he does knock on your door. Um, and he keeps looking back at his house, um, kind of annoyed.
I kind of like open the door, like push him back a little bit and come out and shut the door real quiet behind me. Be like, what? I'm still asleep.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like, John's grounded again. He got grounded last night. And for some reason, he like freaked out this morning and told me to come over here and tell you that you needed to go get with Otto and Ryan and Larry, I guess. I don't know. He's like freaking out about it.
Okay. Is everything fine with him?
I think he's been listening to that Otto kid's conspiracy theories again. Um, he didn't really tell me anything. You know how Ryan is. Ryan and not Ryan, John, sorry. John and Brad don't have the best relationship. They're pretty antagonistic towards one another. Um, so everything that you hear from Brad about John can be taken with a grain of salt and vice versa.
Gotcha.
Brad is not necessarily the monster John makes him out to be. John isn't the little pipsqueak that Brad makes him out to be.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't know. He doesn't tell me a lot. He was just saying that Otto's conspiracy stuff and something about the loop. I don't know. But he got grounded again by mom and told me to come here and tell you.
Okay. I guess I will go do that. Then.
And he's kind of like, now you are in a neighborhood very close to everybody. And he's like, do you want to ride? Like he tries to sneak that in there. Like, I can give you a ride.
They live like like I can like see the tree in Ryan's backyard from here. I got new skates too. I was totally looking to break them in, Appreciate it though.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe another time. Like, you're going to the arcade bench later, maybe? Like, give you a ride over there.
Yeah, probably. I'll let you know.
Mhm. And then from the like front porch of his house, you hear his mom calling. And he's like, "Ugh, okay, I gotta get back. I'll talk to you later." And he runs off, kind of across the yard, very Ferris Bueller style, to his house, um, leaving you with that information that John's being weird and got grounded again, which is not
As
unusual.
always.
Yeah, not unusual for him. Happens about once every 2 weeks or so.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess then I'll just kind of like go back inside, sneak up,
Mhm.
grab my new skates, um, look at my old ones, give them a little like, thanks, man. think it. No, I'm gonna wear my new ones. And yeah, grab my backpack and sneak out the door, grab like a little Pop-Tart on my way out, and then skate on to whoever's closest. Or
Awesome.
like if we have a hangout or something more local.
What flavor of Pop-Tart?
Probably just strawberry, you know?
Oh,
The
there you
original
go.
or like the go-to.
Classic.
Yeah.
Mhm. So by sidewalk ways, Ryan's house is the closest. You can actually skate to his house straight from here. If you were to go to Otto's, or the fastest way to get to Otto's is probably around the block. But to get to Larry's, you could actually hop a fence or two. So if you're going to skate, it's over to Ryan. And Ryan, you wake up because your little brother woke you up around 6:45, 7, because cartoons started and he wanted cereal
Oh,
and to watch cartoons with you. Um, and so yeah, that's how you got up this morning, was by your 6-year-old brother like tugging on you really, to get you up for your normal Saturday routine of cereal and like Power Rangers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Transformers and GI Joe. How could I be wrong? How could I forget?
G.I. Joe.
Um,
Yeah, so that's pretty normal. I don't think I'm angry like for getting me up the way he does, but I'm not like a jerk about it. I kind of just trudge along. I take my notebook,
mm,
of course, with me and my multi. Um, but I'm like pseudo ready. It's kind of
mhm.
like just do whatever. If anything happens that day, I'm ready to meet them if need be. But I'll probably have my loop O's or whatever the
Lubos, yes,
scenarios are.
perfect. Um, did any of you take a condition last week? I don't think you did, but I wanted to double check. Okay,
Nope, no conditions except for
cool.
kicking ass.
Or
That's
taking names, or more like devices
always.
from a neon jacket while
Yeah.
super ninja like.
Mhm.
Is that it? Is that a condition?
Yes, that is a condition.
The
This is
condition of
today.
being
Minus
too awesome.
-2 to everything.
Oh no!
Um,
Don't
Two
take
for
that from me.
everything for being a ninja.
um, so while you're into like your second bowl of cereal and into like the last half of the first hour of cartoons, when you notice your father walk by behind you, exiting the guest bedroom that is downstairs, um, fully dressed and not coming down the stairs. Like you didn't hear him come down the stairs.
Uh, I wouldn't say anything. Kind
Okay.
of pretend like I didn't see there.
And he walks behind the couch where you two are sitting and he ruffles both of your guys' hair. Um, and just kind of smiles at like you two getting along. Um, and there's a picture of Reese Blackwell up in roll 20. This gentleman who is still wearing slacks even though it is a Saturday, button down shirt and a sweater vest, but open. Right, 'cause it's casual. It's an open sweater vest. And he, kinda stands behind you guys looking at the TV, as it goes to commercial and, kinda just, like, claps your shoulder, gives it a squeeze, and, he's just like, "Are you gonna be around today? Are you going with your friends? I know that the tournament is still happening tomorrow or is happening tomorrow."
Yeah, and well, just even if it's a commercial, like in pseudo eating, be like, yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh, cut
Is
out.
anyone else losing Gavin, or is it
It cut
just
out.
me?
It cut out.
Yeah, he got out.
Let me do my
Oh, you're
ASMR
back.
thing where we're close. Um, I'll without making eye contact and still kind of watching the commercials and eating my lupos. I'll be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna see my friends probably.
Okay. Um, you know, if you're out for too long, be careful. If you, you know, it's the weekend, so an hour after, the lights come on is okay as long as you're in the neighborhood. Make sure you come back if you get hungry or don't eat all of Otto's grandmother's food. Even if she offers like more and more to you, um, like you know, he's just trying to give you the general like be polite, um, and all that stuff. You
Hmm.
see, he kind of goes away. Your little brother starts bothering him about something. You don't see your mom, and you from the see like out the side window that Tanya is roller skating up to your or down the sidewalk and towards your house.
Uh, what specifically are you doing? Are you like could if I had a quick glance, could I just see that you're just like skating, or are you been like doing stuff like that?
Um, yeah, I would probably, if especially once I get close enough that I can kind of like maybe see in the window or something. I'm like on my like do a little spin.
So you'll probably see him nod, and then actually, I think he'll probably go upstairs, and he's probably in like pajamas that he could go out in, but then he'd be like, if like someone's summoning me, I should probably get real close. And so
Mhm.
he probably runs up the stairs real quick, and then heads out doors without
You
trying to make too
see,
much noise.
you go upstairs and Reese notices Tanya um outside skating around and he goes and he actually opens the door. Ryan's father is very nice. He seems to care about all of you. He is like secondary dad to some of y'all. Um, and he just gives you a wave and he's like, "Are those new skates? Did you get new skates, Tanya?"
Yeah, I got new ones. My other ones were getting like a little, like my toes are kind of hitting the end of them, and it just wasn't like,
Mm-hmm.
I really felt like I wasn't as fast. Man,
Mm-hmm.
these are fast and
That's
shiny,
great. They
right?
look great. Like, he's like, he really pumps you up. You really feel like, hell yeah. Like, this is another
Oh yeah.
guy that you can count on. He's like, oh, that makes me think of something. You stay right there. I'm sure Ryan ran back upstairs. So, um, he like goes inside and comes back with like a little screwdriver, that perfectly fits like your skate, to like be able to get in there and tighten it. He's like, "I saw this the other day and thought about you and your skates because that one skate, that right wheel was
A
loose and
wobbly
everything,
wheel.
and I kept thinking about it, and I saw this, and I thought it would be perfect for you." So he hands that over to you, this, like, little mini screwdriver that fits perfectly, for your skate to tighten it. Um,
Thanks, Mr. Blackwell. I'll like take the like string on my hoodie and like loop it through like the little loop on the handle and tie it off. It's like
awesome. Mhm.
that's
And
perfect.
so Ryan, you come down as this exchange happens. This is not uncommon, for you and your brother, even. Well, definitely you and your brother. Like, your father sees that someone is having a problem and finds something to fix it. Um, and like, especially for you and your brother. But you come running back out, and he just kind of claps you on the back. He's like, "You guys have a good day, have fun. Come home if you need anything, and because we're gonna be home all day." So, and he lets you run out and closes the door and goes to go watch cartoons with your brother.
Yeah. Even if he's not looking, Ryan's probably gonna like do a silly face at his little brother as he leaves.
He
Yeah,
does
just
his
like
best.
stick his tongue out. Yeah, something like that.
I do the
Like,
Mhm.
exact same face, like looking around behind Ryan back in.
Awesome. So Tanya and Ryan are together.
What did I miss yesterday? John's grounded, yelling about conspiracy theories in the loop and sent his brother over.
it was kind of doesn't ever like it's like maybe side of your face or like your shoulder. And he goes, yeah, it was a little crazy yesterday. Um, they supposedly like stole a guy's jacket, but we did get this weird device out of it that has loop tech in it that we hid. It's kind of crazy.
You
We hid in the
stole
graveyard.
loop tech from a random person's jacket?
Well, technically I didn't, but there was a piece of equipment that was acquired by one of us, Otto, surprisingly.
Which is
And
very surprising that that Otto did, and I'm sure they'll tell you the whole story.
yeah,
But it's very
I'm like,
surprising to hear Otto did it.
I'm giving you bullet points, but there's like my bullet points are usually like informative and factual. These bullet
Mm,
points are a little more like emotive. So
mm.
like just kind of going through them. It's like yeah, but it's like we did this, this, and this. I did really well with the game, but the game felt really kind of sticky. I got all these like numbers, and I got the sequencing. We think maybe it was taking like my blood type. I don't know. It was kind of weird. And then when I tried to tell
Gary?
Gary, he didn't really believe me.
Gary don't
And we
listen to
sold
anyone.
and we sold this, and we gave away a free drink card for some extra time. John did that kind of crazy
I had to
thing.
do extra chores for freaking Gary to get you the drink tickets and the time, and you just gave them away?
No one
Again,
knows
I
how he
didn't
came
do
up
that.
came across.
John had a drink card that he offered to Gary for some reason. I feel
Oh,
like we
okay. It
should have
wasn't
kept
like
it.
an arcade thing. I was gonna be so mad.
No,
out
it
of
was for the
out of
arcade.
character. Yeah, out of character moment. John stole $5 from his brother. Um, when he stole the $5, he also stole a punch card to the arcade for a free drink
Gotcha.
that had like 3 punches in it of 5. And in some strange, bizarre bribe, got extra time from Gary just from the craziness of offering a punch card to the place where he gets free drinks from. So that it was a
That
punch card
tracks.
for free drinks.
Yeah, that tracks.
At the arcade, though, right? It's not like
Yeah,
the
it is at the arcade that Gary
yeah.
works at that he
That
got.
he gets free drinks anyways.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But when you roll good, you
Your
roll
reaction
good.
is, yeah, that tracks. That
Yeah, that was
That tracks.
Yep. Awesome. So you kind of get the lowdown as you start heading towards Otto's house, and Otto lives right across from the cemetery, but straight south from where Ryan lives. Otto, it's a Saturday and your house is empty. Because your brother and your dad still work even on a Saturday. So your Oma is there. Yeah, she's almost always there. There are like maybe like Wednesday night she goes out, you're not quite sure where and but she's there this morning. She is sitting on the back porch with the holding onto the telephone with the really long wire that always got like twisted up and you could never like get it undone and it like hurt if you snapped it against somebody and it's normally the kitchen phone but she has like stretched it all the way out to sit um on the patio on the back, and she's smoking a cigarette. This is not anything new. Um, your Oma smokes all the time, and this is what her normal Saturday is. She is speaking in German, and right
Yeah.
now she is. You
This
have
sounds
heard her
exactly
speak.
like my great grandmother.
She's speaking in German right now. You have heard her speak French and even English at times to the people that she's talking on the phone to. But this is a normal Saturday for you. There is like oatmeal in a pot on the oven or on the stove that you can get. Um, and otherwise, your house is quiet except for your grandma speaking in German, and that could be loud at times.
I mean, grandma's always speaking in German unless there's somebody giving her a reason to speak something else.
Mhm.
Um, I am going to say though, I think that instead of oatmeal, since it's a weekend, it's a hearty food. She knows I'm going to be gone. I'm not going to have no telling. So it's I think
Mm.
it's a traditional eggs and mustard, where they basically make hard boiled eggs and then slice them and make them mustard gravy. And
Oh,
so I'm sure there's because that's a good German breakfast. You know,
oh, Paloma.
yeah. It doesn't it it's good for Otto. You know, Otto likes it because he grew up on it. It's Saturday breakfast.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
he's got that. Is he can either go find Larry, or are people making a trip here, or
So you are on the way. So
Dock number 2.
normally when y'all hang out, like if it's John and Tanya that like they make the round to Ryan's house, then yours, then Larry's. Um, so you can see, your grandmother's out there talking. Now you have been tasked with watching the item.
that's what I was
Um,
gonna say. He's definitely like eating his breakfast, but staring out the window at the potted plant thing that we put
mhm.
the thing in.
So I just shared an image of the mausoleum that you can see from your house. It's not in this image, but there's two large like shrubbery pots that stand in the front of it. They're kind of full of dirt. There's like a dead shrub in them. But they're not maintained. Nothing about this mausoleum is really maintained. But it's been there since the early 1900s. Um, you haven't seen, you've been kind of you got sleep last night, but you kept getting up to like check. And no one came. No one, it doesn't look like it's been disturbed. There are
In
people in
corporal
the
form.
cemetery. Right, right, right,
In,
right.
yeah.
There are people in the cemetery, but that's not unusual. But there's not really a lot of people around this specific part of the cemetery. As you're looking to make sure that everything is okay, you can see Ryan and Tanya kind of walking, skating. Do you have a mode of transportation, Ryan? I should ask that. Are you just hoofing it?
Yeah, I'm just hoofing it.
Okay. Yep. So
I'm
you
just kind
see
of like skating forward like a good bit, and then I'll like turn around and I'll like catch back up to him and like loop around.
mhm, as normal, yes. So you see Tanya and Ryan coming up.
I think Otto would. I imagine it's probably fairly common, and Oma probably waves them both into the house as they get there. Um,
Mhm. Though she points at Tanya, like to
Oma!
she like waves and she's friendly, she's smoking, she's on the phone, but she points at your roller skates to make sure that you don't come into the house with
Yeah.
them on.
I just like plop down on the sidewalk and start taking them off.
hmm and Oma is there's while Otto's family doesn't have like a lot, they are a little poorer than you guys. There's always food to eat. It's just that it's what Oma makes.
Mm.
So, um, you're always welcome to eat something. It's just if you will eat Oma's food or not.
I'm
yeah,
very
Otto,
always open to Oma's food. I'm just like, whoa, what's this?
You grow
yeah,
and
I
grow.
and Otto was raised to have good manners, so the first thing he does is offer everybody food. There's probably like fresh baked bread with it too, so
Mhm.
I think Ryan doesn't eat a lot, so like he'll always just a spoonful of something, maybe a
Oh, you're
like
breaking
a
up.
whatever.
Yeah, you're breaking
Yeah,
up
your
again, dude.
noise gate hates
you gotta
you.
whisper sweet nothings in our ear again, Gavin.
All right, I'll just keep whispering to everyone.
Whoa, whoa. The
I
tingles, I got him.
I don't think Ryan eats a lot, so he probably just takes like a spoonful of like the mustard eggs and maybe a little piece of bread, but he never eats a lot. Ever anywhere, like even with pizza, with anything, he just kind of doesn't eat a lot. But he'll have some. Like
So you guys eat, and while you do, Oma gets up, she puts her cigarette out. Um, she always wears a headscarf. I just showed the picture in Roll20 for you, Taylor. She always wears a colorful headscarf. Her hair is like shock white. Um, she seems friendly. She will talk to you in English, kind of. But a lot of the times she'll say something in German and Otto will translate. Um, but she does seem to understand you when you speak English. Like she'll just respond in German.
Mhm.
She kind of does the wonderful ballet that people used to do with like walking around your house with the long ass phone cord, not strangling anyone or getting it wrapped up in you. And so she comes inside and is just like making sure that everything's okay, that you guys are eating, and then she pulls out from the fridge um some kind of Tupperware container with a handle on it. So it's the Tupperware with the lid and it has like a carrying case. Um and she looks at you, Otto, and says in German that you need to take this to the Anthony's.
Mm.
Um and that it is some sort of rabbit casserole
And I'm taking this where?
to the
To
Anthony's.
Larry's. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm. And then she pats each of you on the head. Um, and be good, be good.
Does she go boop as she does it?
Yeah, that's totally her style. Um,
I think
Guillotine. Um, go
I
ahead. Sorry,
think
Ryan.
I think sorry. I think Ryan would probably say it's still morning, or maybe
Yeah,
Guten
it's
Tag. If
late.
saying he'd say some sort of German goodbye
Mhm.
to her.
Guten Tag.
Awesome. As you guys leave, you can hear her start up again in German, and you can hear the click of a lighter as it lights another cigarette. Um, as she like goes back and sits outside. And what do you guys do? As Oma is definitely distracted, like on the phone.
I think that since we're not going out streetwise, because we're probably going to cut through the back to get to Larry's, we'll just um, waiting for Skates there to lace herself up, and then we can roll through the back. He's going to get his bike, but we're going to be cross country and this for this part of it. So
Mhm. And I think Tanya has like she either has her skates around her neck or she has her shoes around her neck. Like she's
Yeah, switch them out.
not without them. I will
all
say
right,
on a complete tangent, I was at a Skechers store the other day and they're selling Skechers roller skates. And they
Oh,
looked like the most dangerous things.
That's what I
well,
Are
learned to
they
like
Heelys
skate
are they
or
on
like
were
though.
just
they
Heelys?
legit?
No, they were roller skates.
Oh my
Okay.
god!
That's what
Like
I learned to skate on was like Skechers roller skates. Like they were just tennis shoes with not Heelys. They were just tennis shoes with rollers on them, and that's why I still
was her
can't skate.
tagline guaranteed to break your
Oh
ankles?
god!
Was that
Oh
yeah.
my god!
Yeah, they had
That
like
just looks
no
like
ankle protection at all.
Mm.
I was
it
like,
looks
at
like they
least
just got
roller
a
skates
big
had
ass
something.
Hot Wheels and was like, you know what? Let's put a shoe on top of it.
Yep.
I wanted Heelys so bad.
Me too.
I was
I'm,
like 25 when they became a thing.
I probably
I'm
yeah.
just
If
tall
I
and
got them, I
clumsy.
probably wouldn't be here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you get laced up, you head out through the back, which is there's no actual like fences between your house, Otto, and the street, kind of alley street that's behind y'all. So you can just kind of walk through the yards of yours and your neighbors, and no one really seems to care um in this area. And you cross past the auto yard, the kind of wrecker's yard that is here, until you get over towards Larry's house. Now, Larry, your parents were up early.
Oh yeah.
Everyone works on the farm in the morning, taking care of the animals and the plants of different variety um, that are there. Your dog and what was your dog's name? Is Scout? He's totally with you all the time. Like he's
Yeah.
making sure that the animals are where they should be and that your sisters are where they should be. He's doing a good job at just keeping everybody in the yard basically. Um what are you doing this morning as it gets closer to about 9 o'clock?
I make my rounds in the back. I got to check on the guinea pigs. I got to feed the rabbits. I got to check hay. I got to move poop. I got to check on the devil's lettuce and those kind of things. So that's kind of what I'm up to in the morning. So if they walk up, I'm outside and Scout's running around herding.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as like Scout gets even like a whiff of the three, especially whatever, Scout knows when Oma has sent something
Mm.
over to the house. Like he knows, and so you can see him like start running in circles, and then like bust through like the backyard up towards the front yard, where your three friends are. Um, coming up to your parents are both working. Your mom is in the yard working with like um plants like that started to
Mhm.
plant because it's spring. Your dad's actually working on one of the vehicles that help, not vehicles, one of the just yard I'm gonna say mower because that's the word, that's not what I was looking for, but it came to my
Yard
brain.
equipment. Yard
Yard
equipment.
equipment, sure, yeah, he's working on some fancy loop tech, that he recently got kind of, at a low price because it wasn't working,
Yeah.
um, but he thinks that it might help, like, aerate the yard and, will really once he can get it working, will really, really help. Um, yeah, is there anything you wanna do in your yard before your friends get there?
No.
Awesome. Um, so you guys hear Scout barking as you get up on towards Larry's place. And Larry, you can see your three friends coming up and Otto holding a Tupperware container.
Over his
Um,
head because of Scout.
yeah, Scout is definitely trying to get to it.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Otto's probably like trying to like push Scout away with one leg and is like, Larry, get your dog.
Oh no! Looks like you brought us the gold mine. Scout, back! Scout, of course, listens to all my commands because it's the greatest dog in the world.
yep. And
Otter, what
Scout
do you
like
got?
runs and
Go on.
Scout just runs and gets behind you when you tell him to get back.
Yeah.
So he just like gets behind you and walks behind you as you come up to your friends.
And Otto, what do we got in the what do we got there in the Tupperware, my friend?
I think almost said it was a casserole.
Ah, I take the casserole. I call one of my sisters Mary. That's the older one. Mary! And Mary comes. I say, oh, get this in the fridge, blah, blah, blah. Everything's moving along just fine.
She does, and she's like 6, I believe. Mary is the older. So she waves at the three of you. And then you can see her twin sister, who's a year younger than her, kind of look up from the porch where like there's a glass screen window, like you can open it so it's like the screen's up there, and she just pushes her face against the glass, fingers and all.
Jane, don't hurt yourself. Don't push against the glass again.
Could you give any more
Very
evidence to the police? I do have to ask this though. Is there a reason why a twin is a year different? Do they just look very similar? Is that what you mean, or is there something that I am not aware of that weird?
I'll let Rich explain it.
Welcome to the loop.
Okay, that's all. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed. Thank you.
Yep, that's it. Um, so the girls go inside with the casserole. And you guys are out in like the front area, between buildings. The four of you and Scout.
You don't make a casserole without breaking a few eggs. When are we going to get back and get some practice in? Oh, you muted, or I don't hear you.
What?
I don't understand either.
Yeah, I don't either.
Eggs?
I think that was.
We had
I'm
eggs for
thinking about
breakfast?
going.
I don't think there are any
I,
eggs in the casserole.
well, I just threw that in. I'm thinking we need to get back to our hideout, take a look at what this equipment is, and get some game time in.
Yeah.
Hold on. Quiet.
You're
There's
Otto.
something very important we have to do first.
Uh-huh.
Then he turns and he looks at Ryan
Okay.
and says, "Who did we run into on the way back home last night?"
I forgot her name. Ryan would know, but
Slender Man.
what was the nosy Nelly? Nelly. We ran into
Yeah, I think I
Nelly.
actually named her Nellie. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. I just had to make sure that because we know they got your blood pressure and your blood type, they might have got your DNA, and so you might be a pod person. But they wouldn't have that information of what happened after they took your samples. So I had to make sure that you didn't have that memory.
Ryan opens his mouth for a quick second, and I don't think anyone sees this a lot, but you see like a little twinkle in his eye really quick, and then he closes his mouth and doesn't say anything.
Just had to make sure you were you, man.
Thank
Okay.
you for looking
Okay.
out.
Okay. Otto, I love everything you come up with. But I am very confused. And I feel like I need facts and not pod people. Okay, so there was a video game that somehow got your DNA. Did it stab you?
Okay.
I
I'll
don't
break it
remember.
down. All right, we'll give you the rundown. All right, so first we went to the arcade because you go to the arcade, right?
Yeah.
The
Um,
child pressing up against the glass again.
Oh, hi.
and
Do we wanna?
Jane, get back.
But I want to
Don't
hear what
break-
happened at the arcade.
No, Jane, go get the casserole put up. And when you're done with that, you need to clean my room.
Clean your
Sure.
room?
Yes.
Okay.
If you do, I will hook you up with a $2 bill. And I go psh, psh, and pull out a $2 bill.
Okay, and then she runs off. As a reminder, you
Ooh,
guys
I thought I
are
was going to have to
still
roll for that.
$2 bill. That's amazing on its own, right?
Yeah.
You
You can
guys
bribe
are
me with a
standing out.
$2 bill.
Hell yeah. You guys still are standing out in like the middle of the front area of Larry's house. Basically almost in the street. Just so other people can hear you, especially people in the house. So just
then definitely no.
setting some scenery.
To
Okay,
the clubhouse.
we'll have to hold off on the recap until after. So first mission is we gotta retrieve the object, and then we can go to the hideout,
from
and
the
then we'll
jacket?
Phil Taylor.
Okay.
Stay on the replay till hideout A.
Yeah, can't let anyone over here.
Cool. I'll like switch from my skates back to my tennis shoes and then put my skates around my neck so I can just walk with everybody.
Okay. So you're heading towards where you left the item. Are you guys just gonna walk up to it? Like, what's the operating?
I
Like,
think we
how are
just
we doing?
walk up to it. I think that Otto is whistling nonchalantly, not well, but that's what you do in these situations. So
And everybody roll a sneak for me, please.
Oh, sneaky.
Bro.
Sneaky. Oh, let me go to my character sheet. Larry Anthony, right there. Sneaky.
No
Ooh.
bueno for Ryan.
I don't think I'm sneaky. No, I'm just kind of here.
Oh, I got it. Sneaky boy.
Oh, one success.
It's just me. I fucked up.
You did not. Now, you can push or use a luck if you want. um, in this moment, or you don't have to do that either. I'm just gonna give
I
you the
don't know. I
option.
don't think so. I kind of want to see what happens. Yeah, because I don't think Ryan would be like super afraid of like sneaking, so he's probably not trying really hard, which is probably why he failed.
Yeah, I don't think I think Otto is being a little more conspicuous than normal. He's also like going into the cemetery without any complaints. And without telling you a ghost story about his house. Which
We're on a mission, madam.
um so the three Otto, Larry, and Tanya, you guys like really aren't you're not really like noticed your three kids in the greenery of the cemetery. Um, I think Ryan, you kind of just aren't paying a bunch of attention. You're kind of thinking about the tech and the all this stuff, and you kind of like trip over a gravestone. You don't like fumble like into it, or you don't like fall, but you do kind of like fumble like to your to your feet so you don't fall, which causes like some people that were laying flowers over there to kind of just look up at you, but they don't get in your way. They just you just happen to they caught you tripping, um as you guys head over towards the mausoleum, um and no one else is really around, and you get up to it. It doesn't look like it's been disturbed. You're able to like get in, and like you kind of like put it in the dirt but pressed it up against like the wall of the urn of the plotter potter pottery
Banner.
works. Planter, thank you. Haha, we got there. And it seems not to be worse for wear. Last night it had two lights blinking on it. Today it has three. And they're blinking in just the same way that they had been the night before. For Taylor, who hadn't seen it before, it's been iPhone, basically. Um, the size of an iPhone, and there's no seams on it.
Mm.
So it is weird in how it is built, how you would even do anything with it, other than the lights that you can see at the top of it.
I forget what we said last, but uh, I know I remember saying that, or you saying that we probably don't have the tools at that time. Would I have had tools maybe in my bench or something like that that I could have brought along just in case? Or
I have a screwdriver.
yeah, and I have my multi-tool, but I don't
Yeah.
know if like I could have retroactively brought anything with me that would have helped. If
Yeah, if
so, I
you
would
wanted
have.
to bring like a little like one of those little toolkits that
Yeah,
has a couple different tools in it, then
yeah,
that's totally fine.
cool. Yeah, then I would have brought that when
Mhm.
I came down the stairs.
So, Tanya, you see Otto pull this like very sleek, very uncommon looking piece of tech out from the planter.
Wait, can I ask questions yet?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can ask questions now.
Okay, so this is
This
what you
is a
stole out of a
pretty
pocket.
like
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From like just a random dude?
We can't talk about it here.
Okay.
We're gonna get to the
Look around.
hideout.
Let's go.
okay. So, two questions. Is Scout coming with you?
Of course. Let's bring Scout.
Okay, cool. You have Scout with you. We know that Tanya is on her skates. Do the boys want to get bikes or any other mode of transportation? Skateboard or
Otto has a bike if the others would like to bike, or we can just hoof it.
Is it a tandem bike?
No.
I don't. I wanted to think of like 80s like scooter, but I don't want to go googling for it. So I think Ryan would just walk.
Walk.
okay.
We'll just walk.
So we're hoofing it and skating it, which is awesome. One day you'll talk the boys into getting roller skates. Um,
Yeah.
you know,
I try a lot.
yeah. Um, but so far to no avail. Um, and you just kind of became obsessed with roller derby recently, like so roller skating all the time has just become a thing.
I gotta get
Um,
good, you know? I'm also
yeah.
working out like constantly. If I'm not here, I'm lifting weights because I'm gonna kick some ass someday.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
really need y'all to learn how to skate well so I can practice.
Mm-hmm. She
Crack
hip
my
checks.
knuckles.
Hip
You
checks like a
know, you may
monster.
think you can practice, but I don't want to skate because I don't want to show you up. So,
Oh, that's
it's
why you haven't bought
giving,
any.
yeah.
I,
I
I
don't want
have some
to
old
show you
ones,
up.
you
Sure
know.
thing, I get it.
They could probably fit you. We could try.
Maybe a
But
little
if
Which
you're
bit.
too
so
scared.
at this time in the morning, by the time you get over to Putt Putt, it'll be about 10 o'clock. It is still closed. So you won't be able to go in through the main like gateway. Which means there's a couple other areas outside of the Putt Putt that you can use. Um, there is the one that's on the golf course, like the real golf course that you can kind of jump the fence and then get into by way of like a grate. Um, there's just like a place in the normal fence that you can get through, but that always like cuts somebody up. Like they, someone always gets like a big gash from going through that fence. And there's a couple other ways that each of you have found on your own that can be suggested as well. But in order, but to get you guys want to get into the putt putt and then get down into where your hideout is, which is kind of underneath the actual like putt putt greenery space. So who leads going into the putt putt? Like who wants to? How do you guys
I'll
choose to
do
get
it.
into your hideout?
Yeah. I mean, am I just like a
Tanya's
general
always taking the
distraction?
lead.
Yeah. That food brought to me.
Yay.
Yeah. I'll trek through first while everyone does their bits.
Was one of the ways I suggested one of the ways you're gonna go, or is there like a way that you know to get into the putt putt?
I'm good for whatever.
You
What's this
know, there's
wild
a
crew
Well, we
do?
have a secret way in.
there's a whole
Yeah,
water
I bet there's a secret way.
distribution area that when it rains, there's a whole like cistern that pushes out the water,
Right.
and we kind of know the exit point, so we can totally get in through the water exit.
Okay. So you get there's like this grate above that, or not above it. It kind of like irrigates out into the golf course and is able to dump into like the pond that is over there. Um, and it's dry right now. So you Tanya lifts up the like kind of gate that's there that's supposed to keep people out. Tanya, go ahead and give me an athletics. Is it athletics? Wait,
Oh, you
it's
got this, girl.
I got this,
Force?
right? This is what
force.
I know how to do.
It
Uh,
is come on, character sheet.
do just like force.
Force. Hmm.
I got this. I got this.
Oh,
Three
shoot.
Holy shit.
success.
Yes, you
I may
do.
have put like all my points in force and move. Whatever.
Yeah, I think you broke the grate.
Yeah. So let's see.
I told you I've been
5.
working out.
Um. So you got 3 successes. So you pull open the grate and let everyone in. You also get a bonus effect. You can I'm going to list out what they are. Not all of them apply to the situation.
Mhm.
You can give a success to another kid, impress, frighten, or humiliate, pin your opponent, take something from your opponent. Your opponent is knocked unconscious. You don't need to roll to overcome the exact same thing. This can also help you avoid trouble in the future or you avoid any collateral damage.
Um, what was the? I like the thought of I don't have to roll for this again Or was the other one also, this could help? Yeah, I don't have to roll for this again.
Okay.
And can
Yep,
in and out,
perfect.
easy peasy.
Mhm.
We're good.
Cool. When it's not raining, then you can get for the rest of this set of sessions. You don't need to roll to get that grate open. So as long as it's not raining, this is a way for you guys to get in and out.
Runner up was to impress Larry, but I think that's
You
just
get
natural. A little
you get
intimidated.
You maybe impressed me
two.
a little bit too. Maybe a little bit. I'm not going to tell you about it, but you saw me. You saw my face kind of go. Oh, I went, oh, really? Oh my. Oh no.
And Scout comes too. You
Yep.
get led into this where all the water like drains out, and that's like a forced system. But you could you bypass it and walk into an area that is under the like fake pond moat thing. So that runs overhead, and you can kind of see the piping for it. Um, and it's noisy in here. It's loud enough that like people outside of here can't hear you talk, but insulated enough that y'all can talk to one another. Um, and you
Anya, are you having 1980s boba tea? Oh, that's what that looked like. Sorry, we're talking to each other. Go on.
Yeah. And there are a couple of entrances and exits to this room. Not You've maybe seen Al down here once, maybe. So it's a pretty safe space to talk. And now that you guys are here and you get settled in, you can discuss what you have found out with Tanya.
This has been like the longest 2 hours ever. I need to know what is going on.
Otto, Ryan's gonna go over to Otto and just
Cut
I
out.
lost you again.
Cut out.
yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do this all night. I'm gonna go to Otto and kind of just put my hand out like for the device while you catch up, so I can start tinkering with it and playing with it.
Otto's going to hand the device over to Brian, and then he's going to
Play with
turn
it.
dramatically back to Taylor. Tanya, the name's too close.
I know. I shouldn't have done it.
So he looks. All right. Here's what happened. We went to the arcade. You're going to get time to do the arcade, and while the people before Ryan were practicing on the machine on the game, I noticed this guy in dressed all in neon clothes. It was just walking around watching everybody, and it looked like he was planting devices or something. And he kept messing with something in his coat pocket. And he was trying really too hard to be. So I think he was like a lizard man or something, because they gotta overact to be human. But anyway, so he was walking, so I thought obviously something is up. But then I noticed that after he went around the back and Ryan had started playing the game, that numbers came up on the thing, and it looked like blood pressure and blood type. And the guy kind of nodded and he fiddled with something in his pocket again, and then he left. And I was like, that's suspicious. So we had two different people, and the numbers went up on the first group too. The first people that were playing it, and it had different numbers because it was different blood pressure and different blood type. And so we figured that out. So then he left, and me and John went after him. And we went around, and it was like, we got to get the thing. And so John ran out in front of the guy and banged his fist on the car and was like, hey man, and distracted the guy. And the guy had done that thing where he tried to be cool, where he threw his jacket over his shoulder with one finger, and I grabbed his jacket and dove over the back of his car. And then I got the remote thingy out, and I threw his jacket back in his face when he turned back to look at me. And then we just scrammed and we got out of there.
That is so much cooler than what Ryan said.
I know, right? It was super cool. And then we all met back up, and we all rushed back out, and we didn't have the stuff to crack this thing open to find out what was going on before.
Okay.
But
Okay.
now Ryan had to get his stuff, so we had to hide it for the night because we didn't want to take it into our homes because what if they're tracking it?
Which
So
they
we
totally are, because you like blatantly stole it from them. Ray made it seem like it was so nonchalant. They never even knew. No, you tussled.
oh no, we like grabbed it and we're
Uh huh.
gone. Yeah.
And he's Ryan's just kind of tinkering. He's like, I said all. I basically
Yeah,
said all of that.
but not just slamming on the car and throwing jackets and like almost
Did
as
a
cool as my
hood
day.
dive like Bo Duke. I like slid across the back of the car. It was awesome.
Oh, and Luke Duke, baby.
Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah.
it was pretty awesome.
But what is this thing?
So yeah,
Ryan?
Ryan's gonna slide it back open again so we see all the parts and pieces.
So he opens it again and it slides apart, and it just needs like slight pressure applied to it to take it apart. Otherwise it'll be broken. And you see basically it's like a soldered board, um computer board, that has the loop logo on it. And then there's like the area where the blinking lights are. And then there's a couple other little computer chips sort of attached to it. You didn't get a great look at it last time because you were running kind of out of time before you needed to be home. And now that you have it open again, anyone that wants to can like roll a check to investigate or tinker or anything with
I'll
it.
I'll do one of those specifically, and not program, tinker or investigate. You say?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, let's do tinker.
And I can assist in this, right? Oh, he has an access. Oh, I'm not going to mess around. But how do I
I mean, you
assist in
can
this? Don't
also.
we have an assist?
So the way that I've been doing assists are, you can roll a skill in your skill set to
Yeah.
try and help, and it'll give a bonus die. So if you want to roll an investigate or a comprehend or a tinker, and you guys can work together to
So
get it
just
done.
throwing it out to see the way it works. I'm going to hit Tinker and
Mhm.
submit
Okay.
that too. There we go.
Sweet.
Two successes.
So would that give him a bonus die then for when he rolled his?
That's what I would have done.
Yeah,
Yes,
because I
would
went
have.
I went second, whereas I should have gone first.
Yeah,
He
sorry.
then gets a bonus die to roll his, right?
Yes.
I was
Go
Okay,
quick on
ahead.
the
cool.
roll.
Just checking. No, I'm just checking. I just we're learning about the game. I was
Oh,
reading
I
the
also have a
stuff.
question while we're learning
Yeah.
about the game. With the iconic item, it says like bonus +2.
Oh.
Is that just for any sort of skill check that you do that you can feasibly use the roller skates? Like if I'm trying to sneak and I'm just like rolling on my skates, like is that what it
Yeah,
is?
it really is. How can you use your cool item in a scene? So if we can justify how it would help you in a scene, then then we can get that +2. So what
Cool.
I'd like to do is have Ryan re-roll.
Yeah, because I would also I
With
didn't use my multi tool either, so I might as well just add
yeah.
the plus.
So you want to add the multi-tool and the bonus die from Rich.
Okay. Tinker bonus die 3.
Because I've not had a bonus die. yet.
How?
Oh, we need to go back. We need to go back. No, it was me just
Yeah,
learning
I'll
about
give you.
the system. I was
I'll
just
give you the
curious.
first
I was
success.
curious. I'm like a little
Bryce
kid wondering
is
about all the things that can happen in life.
Bryce's dice have shown up to
Yeah,
play
there we
again.
go. Nine
Um,
rolls, no successes. Okay, yeah.
yeah. So we'll take that first success.
Sure.
So Larry like points some stuff out to you that he has seen before. And what you see, as you very gently like lift up just like one of the chips just a little bit so it doesn't lose its connection. Um, but so you can like look at it and you realize you've seen this part before now that you can kind of like move it around, and it is a transmitter. So part of this is a receiver and then part of it is a transmitter.
Cool. So we actually found, like last time we thought that it could be a transmitter, but now we actually found the piece that's actually the transmitter.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. And the transmitter sits on so like the receiver part sits right next to the four lights that are there, the ones that are blinking. And the transmitter sits on the other end of the device. Um, we kind of, and the way what I had called it previously was a remote. But it itself doesn't seem to have any buttons that you can press or anything like that. Like the buttons aren't pressable. They're or not the lights aren't pressable. They're just blinking lights. Um, so go ahead, everyone roll a comprehend or an investigate or a calculate, whatever works best for you guys.
Oh, calculate. Totally. Because I got some tech going on.
There we go. Made up for it. I got 3 successes on that.
Okay, sweet.
Wow,
Otto,
Ryan.
you are like looking in your journal trying to like figure out where the lizard men come into play here.
Yeah.
And really just trying to fit any of your conspiracy theories with the scenario that you have at hand.
And there's a lot of them, so I gotta like weed things out.
Mhm. Okay, I will come back to the comprehend check in a second. Okay, also, okay. So, okay. Taylor, you like hear them saying like transmitter and receiver, and you kind of think that, oh, there's like a transmission tower like right near like where we live, right? And maybe that has something to do with that. So that's kind of what where your mind goes. Rich with your calculate. Um, you know that looking at the device, um, that the more what you seem to think is that, it had one light yesterday, or it had two lights, and then you guys did something and it had one light. And then it was back up to 2, and now it's back up to 3. You think that that is somehow uh, delivering maybe the information of how how many things it has affected. So maybe how many like people it's has collected data on, potentially. You also, because you got 2 successes, get an extra question. Oh, so you get to Yeah, you get to ask an additional question and take +1 die roll on when you use this information. So
Okay.
the questions are what is its purpose? How does it work? How can I use it? Who built it? What problems could it cause? Is it illegal?
I feel very good about I know who built it.
Yeah.
I feel like I know what it's doing. I almost also feel like what is its purpose? But I don't know we really know that. I think that might be where we get a definitive answer, team. What do y'all say? Yeah. What is
Yeah,
its
let's do that.
purpose? Yeah.
Okay. So the purpose of this device, from what you can tell from the data that you gathered now and yesterday while you were at the scene, is it is taking information from the arcade game that it is hooked up to, which is the Outer Loop game that everyone is playing for the tournament. It is taking vitals information, and you know for sure that it's pulse, blood pressure, blood type. There was that
Like we
sequencing
thought.
thing that you that sequencing thing, that you guys aren't quite sure what it was, and then there was the
Mhm.
5-digit number, that had also appeared when, Ryan was playing. So it's taking that information and it's transmitting it somewhere, like, that you have. What you realize is whatever the transmitter is at the arcade is not necessarily strong enough to push the information to where it needs to go at wherever that other place is. Um, Like things like wireless and don't exist necessarily yet.
No Bluetooth.
There's no Bluetooth. So being able to push data wirelessly um is kind of new and exciting. But it still takes steps to do that. And something about this device is helping that transmission happen. So it's receiving and then it's transmitting to the next place. And it's really handy because it's portable, right? Like um and that and it seems to be working. Did that answer that
Yeah.
question? Do you need me to clarify
Yeah.
anything? Okay,
Nope. That sounds good.
cool. And then onto the other comprehend. Um so you will get a bonus die to one roll when you use this information, Gavin. So you put all that together with what uh Larry says, um, and you kind of realize like all the data that it was putting together was totally building like a just scientific like collection of you. Um really, and maybe you were the first kid or second kid at least. Um and that makes you believe that the loop is collecting
Evil.
information on kids. That something well,
They're
it makes
gonna
you think
clone us.
this, like, the putting some things together with your 3 successes. Gary told you that the cabinet had been cleaned by the loop the day before, and you saw that the machine was working normally, and then someone else came in and messed with the machine the day after it had been cleaned. So there's questions in your mind of if they were going to put something into the game, like to collect that info, why didn't they do it when they obviously had it open to clean it?
Hmm.
Right. So something in that makes you think, well, maybe that whatever this was isn't so on board with what the loop is doing. Um so that's kind of what you put together from everything.
Okay, that's very good to know. Yeah, okay. So I would try to relay that info as non uh conspiratorial as I could. So like I'd be like, I think they're collecting information.
It's almost
Um
impossible.
I'm a little worried or interested to see why this wasn't done when it was cleaned the day before and why this person that we took the device from did it the day after. So maybe it was, maintenance, or maybe this isn't quite up to snuff, or maybe someone's doing something a little kind of odd.
Maybe they're
But
not the
yeah,
loop?
the tech is from the loop. That's a good point. We don't know for a fact that they are from the loop, but this device, the technology here seems to be from the loop because, uh, and he'll kind of show that it has like the loop icon, which is what we saw last time, like on some of the materials. Like it could be. That's true. We don't know if this person is from the loop or not, but they have at least access to loop technology.
Hmm. Well, I do know
I'll be dipped.
there is a tower. It's kind of like a little out of the way. It's where like some of the older kids go and make out in their cars sometimes. But I mean, if something's gonna be transmitting, maybe there.
How far is it?
How far is
It's
it?
actually not too sorry, I kind of gave that info to Taylor without any follow-up. It's actually right near you guys. Um, it's actually the transmission station is south of the cemetery.
It's like
Uh,
Cool.
there.
yeah.
That's
So
that tower. Okay.
as we decide what our next step is going to be, we're going to take a break right here. and we're gonna take about 10 minutes, and then we'll be back to continue on.
Well, I need to go to the cemetery right now, and we need to figure out what's going on transmitting below the cemetery.
All right, we'll be right back, y'all.
Are we live?
Hi.
We're live.
We're live. We're live. We're live. Mike's in a new room. It's great.
Back on the couch.
Back on the
Couch buddy. Oh, do you have the
Couch
same
buddies.
couch?
It
No,
looks
we
like we have
don't,
the
but
same
it
couch.
It looks really
It
very
looks
similar.
real
And they both
similar.
They're
recline.
actually in the same room, just they have a little separation.
It's opposite
Yeah,
sides.
Gavin really
Yeah.
just lives with us.
That's
Because
the
we
surprise.
have the matching love seat and recliner, so it's very possible that you could be sitting.
In fact,
our
we're going to
love
do
seat.
that
Love
at
it.
some point in time. Gavin's going to come down. He's going to stay with us for a
Sounds
weekend
good to know.
and stream a game, and we'll all three stream the game, and nobody will say anything, and we'll just
Yeah.
see if anybody picks up.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, for
Love
sure.
it.
Cool. So where we left off is that you guys are in the hideout, discussing what this piece of tech that you have does. You might have a location on where this might be transmitting to. I'm sharing a picture in Roll20 of what these transmitter stations look like. You guys have
Mhm.
been they're
Those
part
are
of your
creepy.
guys' lives. So, like, they're always there. They always have been there. So it's not uncommon to have not thought of them immediately. Like they're just part of the setting, I guess. Just part of like the place that you live. But these are at the very south end of the whole like block that's for the cemetery. Um at the very end near like the where the railroad tracks go. You don't you've never seen an entrance there that has not been like complete like incredibly secured. So looking at it, knowing where it is, a frontal attack may get you in more trouble than anything else. Um if you were to go there. But you do think that the information is being transmitted to this area.
Do we want to break the
Sneak.
device or remove stuff so that it's not transmitting data anymore? Or should we keep it on while we investigate?
Oh, that's not anything I have an opinion on.
Otto?
Otto, what do you think?
I mean, I wouldn't want to like, can you turn it off so that we're not breaking it? Like, can we turn it back on later if we needed to?
I'm worried an adult's going to come if we turn it off. They're going to show up in their little trucks,
How
and they're going to want to
If this was
repair it.
like in here in that pot all night and they knew where it was.
I
And
think
nobody
turning it
got
off may help adults not find us. Keeping it on may help them find us.
Oh, because of what we have.
Right.
Any of you can roll a calculate or an investigate, or comprehend if one of you wants to do that.
Calculated.
I'm going to use my multi-tool if that works. Is comprehend okay to use my
I'm
multi-tool with or no?
gonna give the calculate to Rich because
Okay.
he already rolled it.
Oh, very cool.
I'm
So
going to do a comprehend.
I'm gonna. We're kind of one and doneing it. Sorry,
okay.
I guess I didn't say that very clearly. Rich rolled. I'm gonna give him the answers. Sorry. Um, you don't see a way to turn it off without breaking it, Rich. You kind of notice that from the things that have been pointed out to you and what you have seen of it yourself, you don't see a way for it. You don't see how it's powered or like how you could turn it off. You could like smash it or remove parts from it, and that would probably turn it off. But you're unsure of like what would happen if it were to turn off. the kind of the auto is kind of in your ear a little bit, like, the men in black could come, people from the loop could come, all these kind of conspiracy theory um sort of things.
All right, guys, we got to break this. There's not enough easy. So if we're going to go, we got to go fully and commit to it.
I can break it.
Okay. I could take the pieces apart, so y'all choose which one. A Bostonian would not say y'all. Even though I don't have a Boston accent, I just know they would not say
Take
y'all.
my car down by the fire.
So do we want to take it apart, or do we want to have Tanya break it?
Well, we know that Tanya wants to break it.
But I want to take it apart.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Real game, rock, paper, scissors.
Whoa. Rochambeau.
Fine.
But is it still rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, it's still
On the
rock, paper,
shape?
No,
scissors.
Rochambeau.
Okay.
Rochambeau.
Oh, this is going to be fun with the
Yeah,
delay.
so
This
where we
never
can-
works well on stream. Let's go.
It never works,
Yeah.
but we'll do it. It's rock, paper, scissors, go.
Okay, you say it.
Okay.
Make sure that we can see your hands, Gavin. 'cause,
Yep.
Like,
No, yeah.
okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, go.
Dang it.
Who
Okay, we
won?
both have
Paper.
paper.
Rock, paper.
Okay,
Gavin
God
froze
damn it.
for me, so I have no idea.
Rock, paper,
Paper.
scissors, go.
Oh, that's me just.
Oh,
One.
scissors.
All right, so it's
All
getting
right.
broken.
Okay.
Totally
so,
solved like 12-year-olds would.
Yep, 100%. I need you to roll a force check, please.
I will gladly roll a force check.
Because she put all her points into that.
Mhm.
Oh, only one success, but still.
How do you
There we
break
go.
this thing?
We're in like a storage or a maintenance kind of room under things, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think just like I take it, I put it down on the ground. We're saying I now have a hockey stick in here somewhere. Maybe I left one from like practice or something. And then I'm just going to just swing it into the wall as hard as I can.
Awesome. So you full on straight into the goal, perfect swing, launch this sucker into the cement wall, and it bursts. Like think of an iPhone, right? Like they're gonna burst if you throw them up against a wall. Um, the outer shell breaks, and the transmitter part, that piece of tech stays intact, though the rest of like the chipboard that it's on breaks. For those that of the technical mind that like to hold on to those things, the you see that the lights that were part of the transmitter, um, they continued to blink until like the board was like actually dislodged from the transmitter. So it looked like to those of you with that tinkering mind that the board was somehow powering the transmitter. And then the lights all go off.
Are there any intact pieces other than the transmitter that just kind of...
Roll me just a straight d6, and we'll say 5 or 6 there is.
Cool. Four. Damn. Nope.
No, Tanya pretty well smashed up the rest of the stuff. So you you get the transmitter part with the lights on it that you can use for something else. Otherwise, it's broken. So cool, we can go home and day's over, right?
So what now?
We did it. No more problems. They've all gone away. You're welcome. I knew to save the day yet again.
Do we want to head back to the arcade, see if it's still acting up, or do we want to go to the tower?
Well,
What are we hoping to figure out if we do go to this tower?
I
Because,
don't
like, we
know.
could go. But what are we looking for and what do we want to know?
That's true. Let's go to the arcade.
I think we need to go to the arcade to see if that information is still showing up on the screens. And if so, then we know that there are other transmitters out
This goes deep.
there. Deep.
Like the hollow earth deep.
I mean, no. I'm not a fan of the Hollow Earth thing. I mean, we did the
Okay,
seismography things, and it's not,
Sorry, it's just hard to keep track sometimes. My bad.
but I
All
feel
right.
like you're mocking me, sir.
No.
Uh-huh.
So you guys take off back from the putt-putt back to the arcade bench. It's probably around 11:30 now. Bench opens at noon, which they're sticking to that rule. So there's some kids like loitering outside, talking to one another. There's not really a line or anything. There's just a bunch of kids of different ages hanging out. Um, you can see Gary inside and his boss, who's just a kind old guy, old to you guys. He's like in his 50s that has just, you think he used to work at the
Oh, he's
Loop? Yeah, I
so
know. I pulled it back. I tried. He used to work at the Loop as far as like Gary has told you. He was very interested in computers and the Loop tech. You can see them both inside. Um, and you guys you get there and Gary looks out the door, like it's all glass. And Gary looks out and sees you, Tanya, and gives you a wave. Um so the owner like walks off and Gary comes over to the door, and it has that little like lock right like there in the center, and he unlocks it, and like kids start to like get ready to go in, and he's like, no, hold on, no, and then like holds the door open for Tanya and her friends and Scout as well.
Of course.
And like everyone like starts booing at you guys, like at Gary and at you, and yeah. And he like locks the door up and he's like, what is going on? Tanya, I thought you were out this weekend with Dad.
No, just yesterday.
Oh, okay. I guess
Did
he's
he
with
know?
Chuck then. What?
I was just curious. So we need to look at something. I look to the crew. Does he know what's going on? Do we not talk about it?
I tried telling him. But
Oh, is
is
this
the
about
machine still
the
acting up? Did anyone else complain?
Yeah.
the timing's off a little bit and there's some additional wording up on the screen, but I'm not worried about it. Are you worried about it? He kind of says like in this like weird way that an adult is or an older kid is talking to a younger kid, like, you worried about it? He's like roll like a which one do I want you to roll? Sorry. Um Roll an empathize.
Mm.
Uh Ryan.
Okay, at least I have a good mind. Nothing can empathize. Oh shit. Okay.
Dude.
I understand his soul.
You do.
Wow.
So what I was giving to you was that he's actually a little afraid of you, that you're gonna
Of
win,
me? Little
that you're
old
gonna
me?
win over him.
Okay.
And then there are some additional questions that you could ask me since you succeeded. So you get +1 die roll on any when you use the information that you have been given.
Cool.
And then the questions you can ask are, what is their weak spot?
I want that.
How can I make them do something? What do they feel? What do they want? What will they do? Are they lying? And I'll let you use that throughout the conversation. Like you can kind of with Gary.
Okay, and I get one extra question or two extra questions?
2 extra questions.
2 extra questions. And then a +1 at whenever I use this info. Sure.
Yep. Mhm.
All right. So, what is their weak spot? Is probably going to be my first question. And then my second question, just so we can kind of like build it in if necessary to the conversation.
Mhm.
Um,
So their weak spot is the arcade bench itself, like the business. Um
oh, interesting.
Gary is really into just the arcade games and computer games, but also oddly enough, the community that is around this gaming place. Um he like considers like these people his friends, like the owner, like to an extent, family. Like something bad happening to the arcade bench is like Gary's like worst, like one of his worst nightmares.
Mm, okay.
Mhm.
And then I'm torn between how can I make them do something or what do they want? Any
So
feedback? Oh, sorry. Go
he's
ahead.
gonna walk over towards the outer loop game with you guys, um and kind of show you what is going on with it. And you're like, and he's like, so last night it was off a little bit, like in the timing, like you had mentioned, but like I cleaned it out and everything's fine there. um Noticed some weird information up on the screen.
Mm,
um and then he kind of pushes the joystick around a little bit. You know how you can go like player one, player two, select
mhm.
start. And you see that every time he moves the joystick, the whole game fritzes out. Like,
Mm,
it gets, like, really staticky, like, um and very familiar to the 4 of you, especially the guys, that when it fritzes out, it does that slow pulsing beat that the device was doing earlier. So, like, he'll move the
interesting.
joystick and it will do the, the kind of, like, beeping motion or beeping that
Mm,
it was doing earlier.
mm,
And now it's doing this, and I was just talking to, Conrad, and we might have to call the loop because we don't know what is going on. I've looked at the cabinet, I've looked at everything. We might have to call the if I can't get this fixed, we're gonna have to call the tournament off. Um, and
No.
there is something in the way that he says that, and that makes you feel like calling the tournament off means something more than just calling the game off.
Mm.
mm. Okay.
That there's something else that will be affected if the tournament does not go.
Mm. Um, well, since it's, and again, I never make eye contact with kind of anyone, but like
Mhm,
I'm looking up towards their face or shoulder. Um,
mhm.
I got a good feel of it yesterday. I think between Larry and I know it may sound silly, but we know this game pretty well. Can we like just do some test runs on it while everything is still closed and see if we can kind of see if like why or when it happens, so that at least when if you do have to call them, we can give them some sort of info about what happens and when it is. Because I have a couple notes that I jotted down, and I kind of want Larry and the crew with me here to kind of also take a look. And, we may just be kids, but hopefully it can be some sort of help.
Not Larry, Gary kinda looks at you guys and is just lets out a sigh. A ton of, he doesn't get like this often. He's pretty happy-go-lucky most of the time. But he looks stressed. Like he looks stressed about this, and he's like kind of at his wits end a bit. Normally he wouldn't, right? Like normally it's like no, right? Like no. But with him running out of answers and ideas, he kind of just shrugs and says, "Yeah, the store opens in like 25, so you have like, I don't know, 15.
Okay.
I gotta go turn the rest of the cabinets on."
Okay. Yeah. Thank
And
you. Yeah. We'll take a look.
mhm. And so he walks off. Um And he just his shoulders slump a little bit um, as he walks off, and you guys have the cabinet here in front of you.
Guys, we gotta
Um,
fix this.
I want to help fix it, but I also want to keep playing to see what info pops up and does not pop up.
And by the way, do we look back in the side to see if there's anything new in there?
That's good. Yeah, let's look at that first.
Look at the what?
And I think I have a free roll. I think I have a free opening of the side panel to see if there's anything new in there from last time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take
Yeah.
a peek, see if anything new's been added to the cab.
Okay, roll. Is it calculate that's the best for you, or is it comprehend?
Calculate.
Okay, roll calculate plus your one die.
Let me go back here. Boop. Oh, I forgot the bus. I forgot the plus one. Shit.
Go ahead and just
Sorry.
roll a d6.
Roll a d6.
Mhm.
How do I do that? Slash
Roll
1d6. There we go.
Okay, so that's a failure.
Good.
So you can spend a luck point, or you can push and take a condition
I'm lucking.
if you want to succeed. Okay.
I'm lucking. I'm lucky.
Spend a luck and re-roll.
Okay.
Re-roll
Plus
with
one.
your plus.
With the bonus.
Yes.
All right, here it comes. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. And that's a calculate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
2 successes. Nice.
So if you succeed, you get to ask 2 questions. And then your bonus effect is asking an additional question and taking a +1 when you use the info. So you get 3 questions. The ones that are suggested are, what is its purpose? How does it work? How can I use it? Who built it? What problems could it cause? Is it illegal?
Who built this?
So you pop open the left side panel that you had done previously, and you remember that there was those switches there,
Yeah.
and they were in a certain configuration. They're not in that configuration now. The
Oh.
the lights are pulsing, just like the other things have been. Um, who built it is still the Loop, like the Loop Gaming Division, built this. Um, Now that, there's so much going on now, and, you got another look at this, and in the quiet of the whole, arcade, you can now, peer into it, and you can see kind of the wiring,
Mm-hmm.
you have to kinda,
Mm-hmm.
look at it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you can see something clipped into the back of the case, um, that is connected to some of the wires.
Hmm.
And
At
then you
that
get 2 more
point,
questions. Mhm.
oh, I have
Oh,
two
go
more
ahead.
questions.
Keep it rolling. You can ask
Okay,
those
at this
questions as
point,
you're
I
looking.
want to call over and say, Ryan, maybe this needs to be removed. I have no tools. I have a dog.
Mhm.
So Ryan has a multi-tool. So I'm going to say, hey, man, take a look at this over here and see if you can pull this out.
So while I can roll something, but do you want to ask a second question while I roll whatever Heather tells me to roll?
My
So what
second
I'm
question,
Oh,
go
sorry.
on.
give me one
Go on.
second. And then you can take that info and ask your next question. You Ryan, you get down and look at what he's pointing at, and you cannot access it from here.
Ah, okay. That's good info.
Ah,
I can't.
Mm.
Yeah. Even
You
with my
can't.
multi-tools.
You can't do it from this panel.
Yeah.
okay. So the question now might be the back of the cab. Can we get that off to get access?
You're gonna have to go around into that semicircle.
Let's investigate. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, and what are well, hold there for just a second. Tanya and Otto, what are you guys doing while they tinker around and look at stuff?
Otto is for certain prowling around the thing looking for other transmitters.
Okay.
He's like, there's gotta there we I saw the guy, he made loops, so I'm like trying to make follow the same path that he made the other day, looking to see if he put anything on any other games, if there's another one of those remote thingies somewhere, if there's something that doesn't belong.
Go ahead, roll an investigate check.
1 success.
You walk around to every game because you are thorough like that. Um and look at every game. So while the rest of this is going on, you are walking around. Um no and you even like look at the back of cases and stuff. No other game has anything connected to it that does not look like it is part of the wiring of the game.
Okay.
Um and so while you do that, Tanya, what are you up to?
I think I'm going to go find Gary while he's turning stuff on. Be like,
Mhm.
hey, hi.
Hey, did you have fun with Dad last night?
Yeah, it was so much fun. Oh my God. There was this lady called the Bruiser. Took out like 12 people.
I'm telling you, you have to get a good like name, and it has to have a pun in it.
Right, right. I was like, Tanya the terrible. No, that's
No,
bad. That's bad.
we'll workshop
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We'll work.
We got time, you know. I still have 4 years before I can even try out. But
Mm.
noticed you're a little mopey about things. Don't want to pry, but maybe we can help.
I mean, I don't know about that. It's there's just a lot going on with the arcade and this, and he's like walking to cabinets and like turning them on um while he talks. It's just that this whole tournament was supposed to bring in like a lot of people and a lot of money. Um, and you know, if we got people to play the game, Conrad was told that that he'd get more games, right? They'd get like the latest and everything, and like this is just like a passion project of his and doesn't make him a ton of money. So getting like the loop invested, that's a big thing. And he's worried that if the game doesn't work, well, that they're going to pull the plug and that they might take all of the loop games out of here.
Hey, do y'all have like cameras in here?
No. No.
80s.
Oh,
Yeah.
shitty
There's
VCR
still those black
things.
but he's like there's still those black like, glass orbs.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, we don't. I mean, there's always someone here, right? And he's like walking you back um towards the concession center now that everything is turned on. Um and he like stops at the register and looks at it for a second and then kind of smirks. Um and then like takes from the register and like spins it on the counter towards you is this like cardboard like card of punch outs, and it has 3 punches on it. Um you're that kid that you used to babysit gave that to me yesterday in some sort of bribe.
It's industrious. So I get free drinks now, is what you're telling me by giving me this?
I'm I'm telling you that the next time you buy a drink, you can get a punch on it. Or
Just
when your
because you're
friends buy a drink, because you
Oh,
never
okay.
buy anything here.
I was gonna say
And
I
that
really
kinda
don't buy
makes
anything
them
anyway.
that kinda makes him smile. But this is something that coming up to this day, he was super excited. Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was very excited for this tournament to happen, and now he just seems worried and tired and, scared kinda. Just, scared.
Hey, is there like any company, I don't understand a lot. I don't understand a lot of the technical mumbo jumbo or really play a lot of video games. So is there like a competing arcade or company or something that may want this to go bad?
He seems to think for a second. I mean, all the other big distributors are like for arcade, either here or not here necessarily or in Japan, and we get those through certain retailers. I mean, there's always like a fight over the divisions that run the loop stuff, right? Like there's the gaming division and the marketing and biometrics and uh the like
That's like
cleaning
DNA,
and
right?
yeah, I mean they've been experimenting with that from what I heard, like from what I've read in the paper, but yeah, I don't know. And he like takes a styrofoam cup and he puts some ice in it and uh puts some soda in it and uh puts a lid, gives it to you. um
Thanks.
I don't know. I don't know, Tanya. I gotta talk to Conrad before we open. So
Yep. Uh, thanks.
yeah,
Tell
yeah.
Teddy
Uh,
thanks again if you see him before I do.
okay. Yep, I will. So you kind of have that situation. Otto is like still looking at all the things, and you guys are deciding if you want to go behind the carts or
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out if we want to go behind the cart first, which we'll probably do. This is what time reasons, is I would to open up the back, see if we can, and then I start playing it to see if there's any sort of rigmarole that happens when playing happens, to see if any kind of major changes happen back there. That's at least what I'm kind of going for out, meta wise.
okay. So you guys can get behind the or get into that half circle of cabinets. Um, and you see that th- it's not messy back here. They take good cable management happens back here. So you're
Oh,
surprised when you see something um not part of the cable management like sticking out of the back of the outer loop machine. Um and it's like it has like a little tail dongle and it's like plugged in as like a receptor. Um and it's not in line with the rest of what is going on here. Um that's what you can kind of see just from being like a couple of steps back.
Hmm.
And Rich, anytime you can jump in and ask another question throughout this
oh,
whole
good,
scene.
good.
Um, so making sure you still have them out there.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's investigate that little dongle. Let's see what that little
Roll
thing's
and
doing.
investigate.
Investigate. Do you want to roll investigate and I'll help, or shall I? How do you want to play this?
Let's take a
Larry?
look. I have one investigate, so if you help roll first, I'll add it to my bonus die.
Okay, I'll do that. Let's do that. I'll roll to help. Since it's just investigating rather than taking it apart. Okay,
Mhm.
one success.
So yeah.
Excellent. So I'm going to go investigate, and I'm going to add a bonus die. I love this system, and I'm going to hit submit.
There you go. You got a
Well,
success.
there we go. We got one success. Beautiful.
Awesome. So with the success, you asked two questions.
Mm.
So what
All
is
right.
hidden
Well,
here?
go
Go
on.
ahead.
Go on. No, you go.
I mean, what did you want to ask a specific question?
I was going to say, Ryan, we got to like put our heads together, but
Oh, okay.
Okay.
let's hear what our ideas are.
What is
Oof.
hidden?
Oof.
What is hidden here and where is it? What does it mean? What has happened here? How can I get into, out of, or past something? What threats can I perceive here? Where is it?
Oofta. What do we do, Brian? I need some help.
Okay, I think I liked one of those. Let me look through. Investigate. I liked what does it mean for sure?
All right. So that's where we lead off. What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. What's this little thingy?
You haven't seen tech like this before. But it is something that has been attached to the game. Haphazardly isn't the right word. It's just on there. Like it's not like from what you
It's
can
like
see
It's
right now
meshed in.
here.
It's meshed in.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Right here, it's just like maybe attached to a couple wires, but that's what you can see here.
mhm.
And it is some type of transmitter device, like this
Okay.
dongle is.
Mm.
Yeah. So I guess if you asked what does it mean, it means that it's transmitting.
Yeah. Okay. And then so I kind of I don't know if this is quite the question, but like what threats can I perceive here? Maybe I was
Oh,
thinking, Rich.
yeah. Yeah.
Or what has happened here? Those are the kind of two that I was thinking.
I like the threats.
Yeah.
What
All right.
threats
So
are here?
yeah. What?
Okay. There's a couple. There's the threat that this is malfunctioning the game in some way. Other than or it's changing the game in a way that it wasn't intended, like the game isn't intended to run. That's what you were seeing yesterday. Um so and then it's causing a malfunction of the game as far as you can tell because
Mm.
this thing has been attached to it and potentially has been made worse um,
Hmm.
since yesterday. Um, and yeah, and so go ahead.
So I don't know if I need to roll for this, but is this like easily since you said it's not like from the factory, is it like easily removed where like a dongle, like a current USB dongle can just kind of be easily pulled out? Or is this thing kind of like while it's not clearly part of like the original packaging, it does seem to be like in there pretty significantly?
Um, roll
Okay.
a investigate or a comprehend.
Let's roll a comprehend. No bonus. Oof. Okay. No, nothing.
Do you want to push or spend a luck point?
How important is
I will
this?
remind you that luck re-ups every game.
Oh,
that we
every
play.
game? Okay, so I can get my other one back. Yeah,
Yeah.
then let's definitely use the luck.
Okay.
Okay. 2 successes.
There you go. Okay. You get a +1 die to when you use this information later.
Cool. I'm gonna have so many
Um,
plus ones on this darn device.
you
Okay,
could
cool.
only get up to 3. Up to 3.
Okay, I'm gonna get okay.
So it looks finally you kind of go in, the two of you, you part these I can't express how beautiful this cable management is to everyone.
That is
It's
really nice to hear. And Ryan would be like he already held this place in high regard because like, but like even more so now with this cable man.
mhm, yeah. But so you part the cables in the way that you would like a curtain as you walk into a room and you see like the dongle is attached to one of these cables and then you see that a like board has been slipped into the like guts in the machine, but it looks like it was an easy thing to do that would have only taken a little bit of time to do. So it seems like someone knew where to put it and how to put it in there in order for it to change the game in the way that you have seen.
Um, I would kind of like, yeah, especially away from auto, but I'd kind of get even. I think this piece clearly is added on after, but they know what they're doing. Like it's like it was kind of. It looks like it was easy to set up. So I may think this is more maybe like I, maybe it's because I'm hanging out with Otto too much, but it does sound like maybe like a rogue loop person added this device, because the device looks really good. It looks completely set up, but this little weird thing I think is connected to all of it because it's the transmitter and it was kind of easily accessed. And
Can
with
I like
the
walk up at this point too?
I was gonna say, so it's getting close to like everything opening up. Otto has finished with his like rounds of making sure there's nothing else. Um, Gary is not gonna like that all of you are behind the cabinets. So this is kind of like you got the Larry and Ryan, you got the site that you needed to see.
Mhm.
And so like you guys are not behind the cabinets anymore, but the
Cool.
four of you do converge together
Yeah.
to kind of discuss what you've all seen.
Can I start playing as well?
Yeah, you can. Like you said, there's 5 minutes. I don't know why I checked my own fucking watch. That was weird on a number of levels. Yes, you can start to play,
Okay.
but it may not help your conversation as the game. You know how like you can concentrate on the game or you concentrate on
Yeah.
conversation, and then when like something causes more stress in your brain, you kind of
Yeah.
check
Go to
out
the
of
more
one of
stressful
them.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
I
game, the game fritzing the way it is means you're either gonna have to pay attention to the game, um, or and miss the conversation, or not play the game and be part of the conversation.
want to collect data. So I think I'm going to play the game and not be as strong of a conversation partner. Because I did it as much as I could when we were actually back there,
Yeah, with Larry.
kind of discussing. I
Larry
did tell
knows
Larry.
what's up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
cool. Then I'm definitely going to start playing.
Okay.
Oh, I think Ryan's onto something with this being like maybe someone rogue. Or according to Gary, apparently there's like feuds between departments within it, some of those being the video games and the biometrics. So so maybe someone in one of the other departments doesn't want this like partnership thing. Did y'all know about that? Anyway, if this does well, apparently the outer loop stuff, more games are gonna come here. So maybe one of the other departments doesn't want that to happen and wants that to fail, and so they're hacking in, doing whatever, adding weird things into this. So the games will suck, and then no one will come here anymore, and then they won't get to get the partnership, and then Gary probably loses his job.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
I don't know, it's just a thought. I am literally a day behind all of y'all.
Okay. So I mean that sounds like a thing. Did you guys found the problem though? Did you fix it?
Because I'm starting playing, I was going to go, and not really play. do I need to roll anything to play?
Yeah, roll a program check. Um, Larry, you saw enough of what was back there that you could go back and investigate it again. Like you know where it is. You're muted.
You're still
You're
muted.
muted, Rich. Yeah.
Oh, I'm muted. I was eating pizza, so I muted while I was eating pizza. I did because my God, that was some really good pizza that just showed up. That was my dinner. I love pizza, and you know what? In the '80s, I loved pizza too. All right, so let me do my. I'm gonna go with the investigate. Sorry, I got some skill in it, but it didn't pan out.
So you can use a luck, or
I'm
you can
pushing
push.
luck. Jesus H Christ, I'm pushing luck. Luck.
Okay, so use a luck to reroll. So spend your luck and reroll it.
There we go. Bam. Oh no, it's just not happening. It's just not
So
happening for me.
you can still push
I
and
I
take a
still have
condition.
I still have more luck though.
Then you can
I
spend another
still have
luck.
more luck. I'm gonna do
Let's
another luck.
use resources.
Woo!
Use them.
Y'all use it because I don't have it because
Oh
I'm
my
old.
God! I am using my last luck.
I really want people just to take conditions, but Jesus Christ.
Did you just roll 3?
Wow.
So you roll. Let me just do a quick math. Just getting
4.
flashbacks real quick.
4.
All
4
right.
failures.
16.
failures.
Statistically, you should have gotten at least.
Yeah.
16.
Okay, I'm going to push for a condition. We're just going to do it. I'm
Okay.
pushing for a
Okay.
condition so we can see this play out.
Yay! We get to use conditions. Yay!
Yeah, I'm pushing.
Okay, so the condition is you choose the condition. There's upset, scared, exhausted, or injured. And it gives you you end up taking a -1 to all of your rolls. But you will succeed in this check.
I'm going to go with
Um,
upset.
okay. Yeah,
I
so
pick
like
upset. It's very
you're
upsetting.
like Ryan just showed me where this was.
Yeah,
Like,
why can't I make this
how is
happen?
it not obvious where it is? And so
This is
you go
like
back and
me setting up my 3D printer. I'm just very upset
Mhm,
at this moment. I don't know why I'm
mhm.
upset. It's grinding my gears. So yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get back there and finally you see the damn thing that you're looking for. You see the dongle. You see this card that is in there, and you try and you touch it and you try and like pull it on it a little bit, and it doesn't eject. It's a very thin board, so it'd be very easy to snap it, um, and break it and the machine. Like, having it lodged in the machine from being broken is not a good thing. That will put the machine out. So you think that there is another way to release this, but you need something to release it. Um, and something that probably goes along with what this is.
Like a screwdriver?
No, it's more of a specialized tool of some
Like a
kind.
multi-tool?
You gotta get level 99999.
Yeah, that's how you release it.
Mhm.
You think it's specifically a tool from the loop. So that makes you think of
Oh,
the guy
level
that was here
99999.
yesterday. He may have had something that helped him install this, and so maybe you need to get whatever that was.
Oh,
Luckily, my dad's the custodian. He's a master of the custodial arts within the loop,
Mhm.
so we should be able to get in there.
yeah.
Or a place close by. Yes,
Yeah,
you're meeting Gavin.
what about do we want to try the towers now the transmission, now that we know kind of our vibe? If this is transmitting to the towers and they had some random guy putting in the stuff in, maybe that's their like head of operations, because why would they want to go back to the loop if they're trying to do shady stuff to another department within the loop? If I'm even on the right track with that. Oh my god, I've been hanging out with Otto for a long time. I get it. It snowballs.
You
It
get it?
snowballs.
Exactly.
Whew.
Oh, and so Ryan,
Bermuda
you rolled
Triangle.
somewhere
What's
in
that?
between all of those failures, which is amazing, amazing amount of dice that were rolled. You are playing the game and you are focused on it, and so that pulsing happens every once in a while that you noticed. It is still like your pulse, your blood type, those come up. You're only getting to play for about 5 minutes, so the sequencing never pops up.
Doesn't bother.
But you think that's just due to time,
Okay.
having played the game.
And the code isn't
Uh,
there, right? Because that came up even after the sequence, right? The code, the
the
8-3.
5-digit number.
Yep.
Yeah. Nope, that hasn't come up yet either
Okay.
because you just haven't played long enough.
Okay.
But you are finding that like, this is a side scroller game. It's not like 3D or anything, but this whole like the way it's glitching is making you motion sick.
Mm, okay.
What if it's trying to control your mind? Okay, no, that's too much. That's too much. I've gone too far. I need to take a walk around.
All right. So this is okay. So no. Okay, that's good to know. And I didn't feel like motion sick yesterday, right? That was just today.
No, not at all. You have never felt. This is more of a you like the situation, like the lights blinking too fast, or just in a way that you
Mm-hmm.
haven't
Okay.
noticed before. It's just like it's on the fritz and it's like causing you to be like nauseous.
And am I still doing okay, game wise?
No, you're doing worse than you were yesterday. Just because of all of these like components
A
against
bunch
you.
of factors, yeah.
And
Okay.
if like you're really good at the game and having trouble, like people are going to be complaining about this. Like this is bad for business.
Mm, okay. So after the kind of 5 minutes is up and the conversation's up, and I, either purposely die or just regular die, whatever, I would tell them like, I'm not feeling too good. I think I think it made me a little motion sick. I think, and I'm not that bad at this game, but I was not doing well today. I don't know if it's because of the sickness or the game, but I think we should definitely tell Gary um, to maybe say it's under maintenance or something, just so people don't complain, get angry at it.
Yeah, I
That
wonder
was
what the
not
hertz
good.
level on that CRT is. I mean, is it
Yeah.
flashing too fast? Is it flashing too slow?
The
It
what?
has to really do with that it's like coming in and out with that like pulse.
They could have hidden 3D mind control stuff in the screen so that it comes into the patterns and
Mhm.
it's affecting your mind and you're trying to fight it, but the light
Otto,
wouldn't play.
Otto, did you see Manchurian Candidate?
No.
Oh,
So there's a wild like cheer as Gary opens the doors and people are let into the arcade. Um and there's more kids than normal, or more kids and adults than normal that are clamoring to like even just be at the arcade because there's like an exciting time going on. Which is very helpful for the adults. Um so here we are we know the game is on the fritz. We broke the control that we had previously. We know that something is attached to the game. We know that there could be a problem with the arcade bench itself. And we know that the loop is involved in some way. And with all those questions, we're gonna
no! No!
pause here until next week when we
He's
get to
throwing stuff
find
at the
out
camera. That's not cool.
and solve the mystery.
Yes.
Eat some
Okay.
bottle caps.
Guys, I didn't know there was a Tales from the Loop show / movie.
Yes.
Has anyone seen
On
it?
Amazon.
Is it good?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I go, Heather, should I? We were doing our session 0, and I go, should I watch Tales from the Loop? And she goes, oh, it's a little dark. It's a little dark, bro, compared to what I'm going to run. I watched it. I binged it. It turns out I'd watched a couple episodes. I binged the rest. Oh, it's dark. It has it has a couple dark themes, but it helps you understand this weird tech in the 1980s.
Okay.
I watched
all I
the
gotta
first
say.
episode. It was definitely weird. I have not watched any more of it, but it wasn't bad. It was out there.
Does it fall into the genre of like new weird?
Is
don't
that like
know.
American Horror Show? What does that mean?
Kind of like it's like more modern.
Love, Death, Robots?
No. Do you know the video game Control? That's a really good
No.
example of new weird. Okay.
No. I need to look that up.
There's some other obscure books that I know of too, but those aren't. Never mind.
So we made it to
We
the
made it.
end of today's session. We will be back with Tales from the Loop next Saturday. To same time, same place. And to solve the mystery. We will
Think
be
I'm on
here.
it.
Rich will be here Tuesday with Rich Randomness. No show Thursday. Red Markets is on hiatus. We will be at Gen Con. Me and Rich and Taylor and David, and Kelly. Taylor, David, and I are running a cyberpunk game. Big
With Wandering
game called
DM.
with Wandering DM. It's gonna be 4 GMs running 4 tables. It's gonna be crazy. And we'll also have some meetups and some impromptu meetups. So definitely watch our socials, hit our Discord because that's where a lot of us are planning shit. Um, and we'll be at Gen Con. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Red Markets will be back in August. Please, I need to know what happens. And as well, Heckna will be back in
Yeah.
August as well. And Mass Effect every last Saturday of the month, and I don't know if that
Yes.
includes July.
Tomorrow,
It does.
Savage Kingdoms.
Tomorrow, Gunmetal
Savage
Draws
Kingdoms
D&D game
Ice
with
Kingdom's gonna be cool.
Mike and me and Rich and Dom and Matt and Mitch. It's gonna be terrifying.
It's gonna be crazy.
I was
I'm
saying
scared of Sam.
to Mike the other night, Rich is like, You're in a lot of games this
I
week.
am.
You got a lot
Yeah.
going on."
Every other day, it's like I have something going on every other day, but it's good.
Mhm.
It's only for 1 month, and it'll be all over.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
We are raising money for elevated access.
Mhm.
So definitely check out our link in the chat box, or the QR code, which might be on screen. I don't know if we
Yes,
have
QR
that.
code
Is
is
it?
on the screen.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Awesome. So
seriously, 2,300 just right off the bat. I mean,
yeah.
tomorrow we'll talk about it. Tuesday we'll talk about it. Next weekend we'll talk about it. Unbelievable! What a great community.
Is
that
it
we
not
have around
donate?
us.
What? Oh no, it's HSC charity, right?
Yeah.
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 Yep. So
What
definitely
a
check
great
them.
group.
Yes.
we're
And thank y'all for
so
hanging out
happy.
with us tonight and chat.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for running, Heather. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been great. I'm so glad that I get to take you guys back to where I grew up.
I
And
know it's nuts.
it's interesting to relive my past. And remember all the things in Boise that I did that I loved and liked. I don't ever plan on going back, and so this is kind of nostalgic for me.
Yeah, that's
So
fun.
that's good.
I mean,
Taylor,
seriously, I grew up in the 80s. I don't want to go back to high school in the 80s.
Yeah, no,
I
me
mean, it
neither.
wasn't great
it,
for geeks and freaks in the 80s.
no, it wasn't.
It's really funny to do that and think about going back in time and being like, yeah, things are different nowadays for freaks and geeks than it was back in the 80s. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I like about setting, and this is just me riffing right now, is that if you have the opportunity with a modern-esque type of game,
Mhm.
use a city that you know
Oh, that is
well,
neat.
or that you love it, that you love. Because I know a lot about Boise and its history and how to look up things and what I found interesting as a kid living there. Um, and that city hasn't changed much. Like, it is like, I mean, just generally on a map, right? And I know where things are in relation to other things, and it's very easy for me to describe. So that's my GM tip for anybody that wants to GM is in a setting like this is find a city that you're comfortable with that still has like an active map and use it.
It is
Um,
neat that you're like, there, yeah, that was the middle school. I know that middle school.
Yeah.
mhm,
And that's a
Yeah.
thing that you could do for even if you don't know the town, you just find some random town in the middle of some state, that's a small
mhm,
town and use that. You could be like, okay, so the school's gonna be here and the town hall is here. This is the
mhm.
square, you could use that for that kind of stuff. So it's a good
Beaver,
tip all the way around.
Oklahoma, major RPG territory.
Yeah.
And by the way,
So
everybody's now looking up Beaver, Oklahoma, if it really exists,
mhm.
but
Look,
nobody's
I
that bad.
have played so many games with Mike R, who has found just so many weird like Route 66
Yeah.
highway stops where we've had adventures at that I didn't even know. I didn't even know
Or David
existed.
with Sacramento having
Oh,
like actual places known that Casey was driving through and was like, oh God,
Yeah.
that place.
yeah. Taylor, do you want to find somebody to raid?
Oh, possibly. Hold on, I gotta open up another tab to do that.
Oh, look at that. Elevated
Uh,
access just dropped about 80s nerd time.
Yes.
And it was a different environment. Nowadays we look at geeks and freaks as a little different. Like they're
Mm,
ruling things. I robot kids end up,
Oh.
being at the top of the class at MIT.
It was a
I
very
lived
different world
in
back then.
It
I
was.
lived in Boise at the end, well, it was at the end of the Satanic Panic.
Oh,
So
the Tom
Mm.
Hanks movie.
Yeah.
Tell me
yeah,
you
that
saw
was,
the
like,
Tom
definitely
Hanks.
like so, like, that came out in the '80s, like, the '80s,
That
and
was the 80s. You're right. That was the
I'm a
80s. Yeah.
'90s kid, but, like,
Yeah.
it's, like, 10 years that's how long it took for anything to happen in
Yeah.
Boise. So it was still the Satanic Panic when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So, um, but now here we are. We're playing
And
RPGs
now here you
on the
are with
internet
the deities and demigods behind you. So, I mean,
with
Yes.
Cthulhu in
Mm,
it.
mm, mm,
Yep.
Who
Mhm.
we raiding,
mm.
Taylor?
We're gonna raid Quest and Chaos. They're playing
Oh, yeah.
Children of Fear. Ooh.
Let's get that raid
And
So,
on.
I guess
Let's
I
get that
get to
raid
start.
on.
yeah. You start.
So it's have fun and play well.
May all your rolls be crits.
Don't be a dick. Do either y'all have anything fun to say?
Bye.
Just
Perfect.
bye.
Bye.